Hello everybody. So it's been a while since I've just sat down and chatted with you guys. For those of you who are new to my channel, many months ago I started something called Elle Tells, which is basically the name for the series I gave, where I just sort of chat with you guys about what's been going on with my life, some of the thoughts I've been having recently in regards to YouTube, to panning, to just, you know, more personal stuff, because I generally leave a lot of that stuff out of my project updates. I tend to leave my project updates very focused. They are just usually about that. I will inject a little bit of my personal life and stories and stuff wherever I can, but I often edit a lot of that stuff out for time's sake because I don't like my videos to be too long, and that's some of the feedback I've gotten, is that my videos tend to be too long because I talk too much. So I'm just gonna start quickly with some family stuff because I've had quite a few people comment whenever I've mentioned my son, say like, I didn't know you had a son. So my son William, he's almost 18 months old. He's almost officially a toddler. Scary thought, like time really flies. Like, it's no joke when people say that. Like, the first few months seem to crawl by, and then it just like disappeared like that. It's crazy. I can't believe it. Like, he's walking a little bit now. Like, he's not a very good walker, but he only just started like a couple weeks ago. Like, even just wanting to walk, he was walking on his knees, and he just didn't want to stand up on his feet, but he was just motoring on his knees. He's really good at communicating. He's speaking a little bit, and it's really fun watching his personality grow and watching him learn and watching how he's experiencing new things. And it's fun watching the things that he likes and what he doesn't like, and he's the easiest kid in the world to read. The only tough thing recently has been the constant sickness. So William started daycare in September, and ever since then, I swear we've been sick like the whole time. I've been more sick since September than I've ever been in my entire life. Like, as you guys probably know, I was sick for like the last month, and it was just this constant like cold, flu, cold, cough. I can't get rid of it. I still have remnants of it, and I will probably keep it until I get to the next batch of whatever illness. He's moving into the toddler room in a week, so I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of new stuff coming up there because there's older kids. So I think it's 18 months to 3 years old. So there's a lot of older kids, plus a lot of them have siblings who are older, who are in school, who pick up more diseases, who bring them to daycare. And it's so frustrating to be sick all the time. And it's hard when William is sick because he can't really tell you what's wrong. Like, we've been to emergency a few times. We've been to walk-in clinics. It's been craziness trying to sort everything out. And of course, being a parent, you're worried. It's like, oh my God, he's got a fever. Oh my God, he threw up one time. Oh my God, I gotta go to the hospital like right now. And usually you're there for like 4 hours, and then they're like, there's nothing wrong. It's just, you know, the flu, or he just has a cough and he was coughing so much that he gagged and threw up. Like, that's it. And so I mean, it's good that it's not anything serious, but at the same time, I don't want him to be sick all the time. You wish there was something they could do. Like, there was some cure for the common cold or something. It's been a very busy few months, to say the least. And on top of the William stuff, I do work full-time. For those of you who don't know, I work in a library, and it's not as relaxing as it might sound. It's actually pretty strenuous work. I'm the stack manager of the library, and I'm responsible for over 1 million volumes of books. So it's a lot of work, a lot of responsibility, a lot of supervision, a lot of organization, and it keeps me on my toes for sure. And then there's my YouTube stuff, which is basically a part-time job without a salary. I'm going to talk about that too. And I know that's a little bit taboo, a little bit controversial, but I've never shied away from stuff like that. I've always been open and honest about my thoughts and feelings when it comes to YouTube and everything else. So for those of you that don't know, you can partner with Google AdSense and you can get money, maybe. You have to hit a cap of $100 before they will actually pay you. And if you reach that cap in a month, you'll get paid. And it's this like ongoing cycle. So if you don't hit that $100 threshold in 1 month, you have to wait till the next month. And if you hit it then, you'll get paid, and so on and so forth. So it took a long time for me to get paid. I was really doing stuff quite consistently, and it was nice to get paid, although it usually, at first it was like every like 2, maybe even 3 months that I'd finally have enough for a payment. And it's only been the last couple of months that I've been over the threshold every month. And so I did a pretty stupid thing, and I decided that I was going to get a new computer, an iMac, solely for YouTube purposes. Like, the only reason why I got it was because I wanted to improve my editing skills, because previously I was using Windows Movie Maker, and it's just very, very limited. It's an incredibly limited program. I was gifted new software, but it didn't work on my computer because my laptop was quite old, and my laptop is like, I think 6 years old, something like that. Like, it's fairly old in computer years, so it just wasn't holding up, and I really wanted to be able to improve. So I decided, because I was making enough from my YouTube money, that I would put the money right back in, and I would get this computer on payment and I'd pay it off monthly. The problem there is when you don't reach the threshold, which I didn't do this past month because I didn't upload very much at all because I was sick. And so now I'm stuck with the payment that I can pay it, but it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight because the only reason I took on that extra payment was because I was naively relying on the YouTube money. It's kind of a catch-22, and I don't want people to think that I'm making videos for the money, because I'm not. I'm not using it as spending money. I'm using it to put it right back to my channel because I want to improve the stuff that I'm doing. So in order to improve, I need to make more money. In order to make more money, I need to make more videos. But in order to make more money off the videos, my videos have to be better quality. And in order for my videos to be better quality, I need more money. And all I really want to do is have a channel that I'm proud of, and I'm getting there. I'm really close to getting there. I'm trying to figure out more of like the lighting stuff. I changed my background, which I'm really happy with now. I feel like it's much brighter. It reflects me. It gives people like that instant, like, this is who I am. Like, Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks stuff is a massive part of my life. It gives people a really good idea on the kind of person that they're going to be watching. And if they don't want to watch me, there you go. Like, this is who I am. So I really like the background, and I'm glad that I was able to change it. And I have a ton of lighting now. I got a ring light for Christmas. The only thing is my camera. My camera's 4 years old now, and I need a new camera. But I can't get a new camera because it's too expensive. And I know people are probably going to be like, but you spend so much money on makeup. And you know what? I know, you're preaching to the choir. I know, I'm well aware. I have a shopping problem. I've mentioned that a few times too. It's something that I'm trying to come to terms with and really acknowledge and accept. It was something I always dismissed because I was like, I don't have as big of a problem as these other people do. Oh, and now I'm like, I do. I do. So the camera, I'm hoping to be able to afford payment-wise once my computer is paid off. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to get back on track, consistent with my YouTube schedule, and I will be able to keep making those payments. I'll be able to pay off my computer in full in the fall time. I know it's a long time away, but I'm hoping that that will happen, and then I'll be able to get a camera. If something happens and maybe I'm lucky enough to make more money, and it's like I'm not planning on it. It's not like I'm doing stuff to make more money. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm not trying to be like, what's gonna get me more views? Because I don't like that. And you can tell when people are doing it that way. You can tell when people are trying to get something out of something like YouTube or Instagram, and they're not actually doing it because they enjoy it. Like, you can tell. And especially if you look at a lot of like the bigger YouTubers where this is actually their job, some of them don't seem to enjoy it much anymore because it is work now. Some of them really love it, and you can tell that too, and there's that difference. And I really love this still so much. I love it so much, and I want to keep going, but I want to make it better. So I'm just hoping that I will at least be able to stay at the same level. And if I happen to go up and I can put more money towards paying off my computer faster, I'm going to do that. Like, if I happen to increase my payments monthly than what they currently or normally were, I would put all that towards my computer. And if I can pay it off faster, then I can get my camera faster, and it's a win-win. Like, I'm not doing this for like extra spending money. I'm not doing this to be like, hey, I'm gonna go on a shopping spree and do a Sephora haul. Like, that's not what I'm about. Don't get me wrong, I love makeup a lot. And there is that little part of me that is like, I wish I got PR. I don't really think about sponsorships because those kind of scare me. I don't, there's a pros and cons to them, but PR, like, so badly, because I just love makeup so much, and I'd love to not be able to pay for it. I would love to be able to try things and swatch things and do reviews on things first. Like, I don't do reviews anymore because I can't get my hands on products early enough to make it worth it. Whenever I've done reviews kind of recently, they've just sort of disappeared. Like nobody really watches. And I know that's not really my channel right now either, although I kind of want to introduce more things to my channel as well besides just my project pan stuff. Like I do really want to do tutorials, and I have been practicing. I sit down, I turn my whole setup on, I record stuff, and I practice because I just was not comfortable doing them, and I have had so many people request them that I have been practicing, and I feel like I'm getting better. I'm getting to the point where I'm like really ready to try stuff. The problem is my stupid camera where I'm fighting against the battery life, and I have a very small memory card, so I'll film one thing and then my battery will die and I have to charge it, and then I can film another thing and then the memory card's full, so then I have to upload to my computer, and then the battery dies, and then it's like, so I can't really get stuff done as quickly as I want to get it done. It takes a long time, and then with being sick I fall so behind on stuff like my project updates, and then I'm constantly playing catch up, and I just can't end up doing what I want to do. But I really want to introduce more stuff like tutorials, maybe have more favorites, maybe do some makeup baskets once I get to a point, do kind of less project pans but still working on my makeup collection. But there is part of me that feels very nervous about doing stuff like that, because I do worry about what other people might think or say, and I'm worried about offending people. Like maybe there's people who are only here because they like my project pans, and if I do less, maybe people won't be as interested in me anymore. Like there's stuff like that that just I overthink too much, and I overanalyze things, and I worry all the time. Am I going to be doing something wrong? And you know what happens sometimes where I will be really happy with something that I do, and then I get criticized, and even if it's the one person, it sticks with me. It's not about hate comments, but sometimes it's criticism. And sometimes, even though the criticism is good and it's helpful, it hurts. You know, it stinks. It's just like, it's that little pinch sometimes where someone is like, you know, criticizing something like maybe I missed something when I was blending and someone points it out, or something was a little off and someone points it out, and it's like, thank you for pointing it out. And now I feel terrible and I want to like take the video down, even though it was one person, maybe out of like 50 that said something. It's like, that's all I can focus on now. And then the next time I go to do something, like if someone pointed out like my contour wasn't blended, like the next time I go to do my makeup, I'm spending a lot of time, and I'm like looking under different lights and mirrors and like, is it okay? Is it going to pass inspection? Does this look okay? Does that look okay? Like I get nervous about it, and I spend a lot of time doing like my makeup for filming. I tried spending time doing my hair, but it was just kind of pointless because my hair sucks. It's been even worse recently. I have psoriasis. I've talked about that before too, I think. It's really bad around the back of my ears and like the top of my ears and the back of my head, and it's on my forehead, which is hard to cover sometimes because it's like 50 different textures, and on my head now, and it like looks like dandruff, and it's very embarrassing. Just gonna say that. Like I think dandruff is still kind of associated with like dirtiness and being unclean, and that's kind of what I was told growing up, and it's not true at all, but it stuck with me, and so I still feel like that. And even though I've got that little bit of problem of using medicated shampoo and stuff, I still feel very nervous, and there's not a whole lot I can do with my hair. My hair is very thin, very lifeless on a good day. But I try and do different things every now and then, but most of the time I'm just like, let's just do a low pony or a ponytail or put it to the side. You know, I have a couple of basic rotations. When all else fails, I'll put a freaking flower crown on my head because I like those too. They might be a little bit immature in some people's eyes, but I like them. I've been wearing them for like 4 years now. I think I got my first one in like 2013 because I just think that they're really fun, and they remind me of sort of like late 60s, you know, hippy dippy kind of stuff, and I like that. So I'm gonna keep wearing my flower crowns, and I just have to try and ignore the what people say. I don't want to call people haters because I don't like that either, because I don't find that people are necessarily hating just to hate, and I find that sometimes there is a valid reason for people to criticize, and as I have learned, a lot of people have issues of their own when they are being overly critical of someone or going to the point of bullying. It's because they have their own problems they're dealing with. So I try and be somewhat sympathetic. It can be very difficult sometimes, and sometimes it involves me just deleting their comment, but that makes me feel better. It works. In general, I'm not very comfortable in my own skin right now. Like I'm feeling great about the improvement in my makeup skills, like technically, because I've been practicing so much and I feel like my makeup looks so much better, but I'm just not comfortable with me right now. Like there's just a whole lot going on. I'm just not in a very good space mentally. Just to say that, I guess. It's hard sometimes. It really is hard. And it's hard just to kind of pick yourself up and keep going, but you have to. Like when you're a mom, when you've got all those other stuff going on, you just have to put yourself aside and keep going. And it's difficult. It is really difficult. And that's why I appreciate you so much. I know I'm getting emotional. I know, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to. Like, it's hard for me to talk about this without getting emotional. I don't want to filter myself, and I don't want to pretend that this is not how it makes me feel. But it does make me emotional when I think that you're watching right now. And that's unbelievable to me. Like, it really is still unbelievable to me at this point that there are people who are willingly watching. It blows my mind. I can't even put it into words, just how much it all means to me. And there's been a lot of comments recently that have been just so overwhelming in a good way that I can't even respond to them properly. Like, I just don't even know what to say back to a person. Like, sometimes I can't even respond at all because I have just reread that comment like 50 times, cried about it, and not, like I said, cry in a bad way, but just cry because it touched me so much that I can't even respond because I don't know what to say. And sometimes I feel like my response is very lackluster. Like, if I just say like, thank you so much, it means so much to me, it seems like I can't say enough. Like, I'm not getting it through. Like, I really want to say, like, it means so much. You don't know, like, that I was reading that comment over and over again, and when I was feeling down and not right, I read it over and over again, and it means so much. And that's a lot of what I wanted to say in this video, is just that I really appreciate you so much, and I'm so grateful, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm not grateful for a second. The support, the encouragement, the celebratory words, like, I don't get that anywhere else. So it's really, really special. And you know, sometimes it can be really hard to get motivated to do videos sometimes. I'm a very introverted person in my day-to-day life. I am a very somewhat reserved person. Unless you know me, I'm very reserved. And it can be hard to, like, get the motivation going in order to do something like this. And I picture people's little icons from the comments, and it makes me smile, it makes me happy, and it keeps me going. So thank you. Thank you so much. And I know it's hard to know what's going on behind a screen sometimes, and I'm sure a lot of you are struggling too in some way, and just know that you're not alone, and you have a friend in me, and I'm always here for you. And I appreciate you being here for me too. So I think that's all I can say right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for everything. And I hope I will see you in the next one. Bye.